Hey there, hey, and thank you for tuning into the pod of Born to Be a Star. Today is Monday, and I cannot believe I made it. I got the COVID second Moderna booster. I think it was on Saturday or something, and it just blew me for I don't know what. Outside of that, just trying to enjoy, the weather transitioning from summer to fall. I'm still dying with allergies, and that's great. No one likes that. It's an opportunity for you to recognize your star power by looking into the mirror and recognize that, yes, you can, and you should never be giving up. You should never give up, no matter how difficult things are, no matter how much you don't think you're going to get through something, you can't give up. Last week, I was in training for work, and my car just decided that it's time for it to go goodbye. Now, we all know that I have an older car, and I brought the car as a transition into something new, just because I didn't want to go directly into something that was newer. But here we are again, and I'm going to have to get something newer. Now, I'm going to use my car as collateral for a down payment. It's because I don't want it, and it's in good condition, and I think it's worth like $2,500. And I think I looked on Kelly Blue Book, and it sounded like I could get like $4,000 for a trade-in for it. So I'm really more interested in just getting rid of that and shaving some money off of whatever vehicle I get. I'm just truly not happy about that, but things always happen. But life has a way of sometimes showing you what things are. In this situation, I understand that my car is a lemon, and I'm just ready to be over with it. I don't have time to be constantly fixing this and bringing it to a mechanic and picking it up, and I'm just too busy. Like my career takes a lot of my time up, and my podcasting and my involvement in everything that's happening in the world. It's very time consuming. And also, I want to spend time with my family, and I don't always want to be getting my car fixed. It's just a piece of things keep happening. When one thing gets fixed, then something else is wrong, and I don't have time for a fixer-upper. I don't want that. I want something that's reliable, especially as me and Skip are looking to buy property. I want something where I know I can get back and forth from my property to my where I work. And I want something where it's knowing, and I'm not like, am I going to make it home? Because that's how I'm starting to feel. Now, for months, well, maybe not months, for a little bit of time, I've been looking into Carvana. I've been looking at Volkswagen dealerships, and I've really been considering which vehicle do I want. I've been heckling back and forth between Honda CRVs, Honda HRVs, and a Volkswagen Tiguan. And I still really like the functionality better on the Tiguan than the CRV. I just feel like the CRV is too manly. It doesn't feel like it's something I want long term. But then you have to start to question: am I looking at a 2019? Am I looking at a 2020? Am I looking at a 2021? Are these vehicles worth the prices that they're priced at, or are they priced higher because of the fact that inflation is just a nightmare? I don't know. Anyways, that's my hash at the beginning of this story. I hope that you know you're a star wherever you are. I hope you are looking in the reflection in the mirror and recognizing that you can do anything you put your mind to. And I hope you also know that you don't have to keep something because someone told you you have to. That's their opinion. That doesn't mean you have to necessarily do it. Moving on, let's get into our favorite part of the conversation. No media allowed, no media allowed, no media allowed, because they lie to us anyway. So I told you that I got the COVID Moderna booster vaccination, which leads me into no media allowed. You can't be silent. I'm not going to not say anything. I'm not going to act like it's okay for these people to rein in on someone who's got some sort of like intellect, while a bunch of fucking morons run around with purse strings and they don't understand that they can't spend stuff that's not in the purse. Like the chip bill, bullshit. Okay, the inflation bill that they put inflation in it. What the fuck is that? The fact that they're going out of their way to allow illegal people over here at the border, yet Kamala Harris and Joe Biden haven't been to the border. And you know why they haven't been to the border in the United States? Because they already know what's happening. They're an embarrassment. This Democratic Party is far worse than any other Democratic Party that has ever existed. Joe Biden is a really shitty puppy that they need to put in a box and just like totally just renege on. But they were so desperate for power that they would have let a fucking piece of tape run for president to try to beat Donald Trump. They are power-hungry, lying slobs. The news doesn't have reporters. All they do is make up shit. No one's talking about the fact that inflation is higher than ever. You can't go get anything to eat for more than one or two person without dropping $50, dude. Everything is up. I went to fucking Salsa Fresca, and we used to spend, I don't know, like $14 for 2 bowls. It costs $30. The grocery store, 2 burgers is $15. 2 burgers, like from the butcher. Granted, I do a lot of shopping at the market, and maybe the prices aren't that bad, but even some of the things there, the prices are definitely starting to climb up. And this is food. This is what you need to eat to survive. Let's not even talk about the fact that I told you that, you know, my car started acting up, and now I'm going to have to get another car. Like, I'm going to have to. Like, there's nothing. It has to happen, right? Because I need a vehicle for work. I'm not trying to sound like I'm a pompous, annoying person, right? I don't want to be projected as that, but I can't do a bus. I don't even think I've ever used Uber, but I might have to figure that out. Just, it's frustrating, right? Trying to do things. It is. And I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that it isn't. Because it is. They're creating their version of what America should be like. But their version of what America should be like is like a totally needle in the arm, heroin, cocaine addicted Cuba. And that's not America. And Joe Biden acting like a dictator in black and red, which we talked about about a week or two ago, that's who he is. They're criminalizing Donald Trump, trying to stop him from running in 2024. But the only thing you're doing is giving more credibility to the base and to Republicans. If anything, Republicans should be more on the side of Ron DeSantis, of Donald Trump, of any one Republican. We got to get rid of turtleneck. We got to get rid of the rhinos. I mean, the first rhino to go was, you guessed it, somebody that fucking sucked at her job, and now she's pretending like she's going to do something to Donald Trump. Bitch, you're not on the ballot. What are you going to do, though? Nothing. So shut up. AOC, dear AOC in New York, the shitty place that you represent isn't smart enough to know that you don't do anything for them. But once they start to wake the fuck up when things get really bad, because they're going to, your ass is out. I'm sorry. How long do you think you're going to be able to do this? I know you guys promote yourselves and tout around, and you went to some damn party with tax the rich on your dress. But taxing the rich on your dress isn't going to fix the issue, because taxing the rich isn't enough money. See, you need to break that statement down. Tax the rich. How? What rich are we taxing? Because you're rich. Bitch, are you going to pay more taxes? You're in the top 1%. You, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck, I'm too fucking old, and Biden that needs to just be put in a padded room because he's just an embarrassment to himself, his family, and he is a bad representation of the United States of America. No one wants that man representing them. Are we going to sit here and fucking lie? Progressives are death to money and growth and anything. Do not support the Young Turks. Do not support Pod Save America. You can listen to them if you want to, but actually listen to what the fuck they're saying. They're out of their minds. They don't understand math, and they're just incompetent. These Democratic leaders have failed us in the United States of America. They're trying to bring about an autocracy. An autocracy isn't freedom, okay? I worked very hard to be where I am in my career, and I worked very hard for a lot of things in my life. Maybe I should have worked harder so I didn't have a shitty car, but that's an entirely different conversation. You buy something and you think it's okay and it turns into a junker. But we can't let them win. I'm going to talk about this every day. You should get a membership to the Daily Wire, and you should not be listening to those people I just told you about. Stay away from left ideas. Stay away from government handouts and get your shit together. You should be questioning why something's free. Is it really free? What are you giving up to get it? Do you want to live to survive, or do you want to live? Surviving isn't living. That's a pretty shitty existence. And I'm not going to be afraid to call shit out. I'm also not going to be afraid to tell it like it is. I guess you could say I'm bougie. I guess you could say I like high quality items. I guess you could say my children are going to private school, because they are. I guess you could say I've changed my idea or my perception of the United States. I've talked to you time and time again about the fact that they want to create a godless country, but they're failing. I was in church on Sunday in the morning, and the father was giving everybody Jesus's body. You know, that happens when you're in a Catholic church. That's part of it. And the amount of people that were in there just led me to believe that Catholicism is growing. Young people, young families, young kids sitting in there, kneeling, listening to the word of God, practicing the prayers and the sayings. And the same people I saw last week are coming back. Even more people are coming in as they stop being scared of COVID. That people are taking their masks off. Like, this shit didn't work. You're trying to take the idea of family away and the idea of God away. But that isn't going to work, because that's what this country was founded on. And if you keep trying to take that away, you're going to end up with something that you cannot defeat. So keep trying. They are the enemy of the country. The Democrats don't give a fuck about anybody but themselves. They'll do anything for complete power. Nancy Pelosi should be in a retirement home. How the fuck do we have old people running the United States of America? If you're American and you're listening to this podcast, listen to what I just said. Old people run things in America. Even Donald Trump is old. I'm not saying he's not a good speaker. I'm not saying he doesn't have good plans, but he's old too. We've convinced ourselves that we can't get it. No one young wants to take part in this shit. People are just like, fuck this, I don't care. That's what we created. The young Turks is running around excited with the fact that they got like 100 million views on YouTube, and they're losing sight of the end result. No one gives a fuck what you're saying, man. I used to listen to them on Twitch. 300 to 500 people listening to you, maybe not even that, on Twitch is bad. Do you know how many people live in this country? 330 million. It's likely higher at this point. You're failing. Like, the Democratic Party is losing minorities. They're definitely losing black people. They're losing women. And next is the suburbs. Because where I live, now they're trying to do affordable housing in a part of town that doesn't need to have that. And they're forcing shit on the people because it makes them feel better, because they feel some sort of way. That's not the answer. But they're going to find out when everybody moves the fuck out of the town I work in and it becomes a dead zone, because that's what's going to happen. People that are paying money, paying higher taxes for properties and people that are doing things like that. They don't want to see bums on the street begging for money. They don't want to see people that can't afford to eat. How are you going to put these people in this neighborhood? Where I work, it's not cheap. Like, eating out is $20 a plate for just the most simplest thing. They got this place called Milkcraft, and to get a milkshake is $10. How are you going to put people in that setting that can't afford to live there? Do you understand what, like, affordable housing is? It's for a bummy set of people. And I'm not trying to be, denigratable or talk about people, but they're not going to be able to afford where they live. How's that work? And how's that benefiting the town by implementing something in it that's going to make the town look worse and make people feel a certain way? This is the Democratic Party. Living in a Democratic state, I just have to question, like, what's wrong with these people and what the fuck could possibly be next? Anyways, I think I'm done with my no media allowed rant. I just can't stand these people, and every day something else gets worse here. It's just, are they ever going to stop? I don't think so. I don't think they just want money. I think they want unlimited power, and they want to be able to tell you how to fucking breathe. But this isn't Cuba, right? I have the ability to vote, and you bet your fucking ass I'm voting redder than fucking red in the fall. And I'm going to tell everybody I know, which is why I do No Media Allowed on my podcast, do not vote Democratic. If you care about your livelihood in the United States, if you care about your children not being indoctrinated, if you care about going to buy food at the store or McDonald's or wherever the fuck you want to eat, if you care about your longevity, your sovereignty, and you care about your life, your child's life, your future, where you're going to buy your property, paying off your student loans, anything like that, do not vote Democratic. These people are really willing to burn down the United States of America and make everything better for China because they're authoritarians. They're far gone, and they can't have power. Wake up, America. These people don't care about us. They've been lying to us since the beginning of time. They created racism, they created slavery, and they are the ones that killed black people and lynched them. It's Democrats. Yep. If you look in history, you'll see it clear as day. And then you have to ask yourself, why am I a part of this? Why do I keep talking about racism? I mean, I didn't grow up like that. I actually don't care about race at all. It's just, everybody's a different color. You have different hair texture. Who the fuck cares? Who cares? They'll use anything to stay in first place. That's what's happening in America. Fight them. Where you live, get a podcast, become a member to a Republican company, get off YouTube, delete it off of your phone, go on Rumble, okay? Don't give them any money. Deactivate your Facebook account, deactivate your Instagram. Be strong, because they want all your information and they want you to be sucked into them. If you're not, they don't have anything. Thanks for tuning in to this Monday. No media allowed, no media allowed, no media allowed. They lie to us anyway. I'm dying. Fucking allergies are killing me. Moving on to the next part of our conversation, outside of the fact that the media fucking sucks. They do. You can't follow blind sheep. There's a lot of people that make it seem like what's happening in the state I live with is normal. Child tax credit, and it's not tax season, shouldn't be fucking happening. Why are we giving sympathy to people that don't deserve it? My own mother tried to say she feels bad for a registered nurse. Do you know how much they make a fucking hour? Just blind sheep that will follow a trend, be sympathetic to people that shouldn't be victimized, and they want to be victims. I'm not that person. I have to disconnect myself away from that because I'm not a victim. I'm very lucky. I'm saved. I'm a believer in God. I'm a I understand the word of God, and I'm going to be okay. Just because things might not be okay today or right now doesn't mean they won't get better. But the idea that I'm supposed to be a victim and I'm supposed to be sympathetic to people that aren't fucking doing anything is insane. The media wants to create a blind narrative for people to follow. Kim Kardashian is not cool. Let's stop worshiping these fucking celebrities and get a life. Get off Instagram. Delete TikTok. TikTok is a way for China to influence your behavior in the United States. How dumb are you to download that? Hello? Like, it's just idiotic. And then these people have nothing but positive things to say about these autocracy countries, right? People are trying to leave these places. We have to do a better job of not just going along with something because somebody said it's okay. Blind sheep will follow the word of whoever's leading them because it sounds good. I said earlier in the conversation on No Media Allowed, we can't leave a life where we're surviving where you want to live. Surviving means you're taking a handout and you're just, you'll take a crappy car and you'll fix it because you don't want to buy anything else. That's surviving. I'm not doing that. I got to do better with myself. Not only I, but others have to do better as well. Following a blind sheep means you're leading yourself into nothing willingly. So don't do it. Moving on to the next part of our conversation. Why can't you do what you want? If you're providing an explanation for somebody about something you want to do, then are you doing it? Why can't you just do what you want unapologetically without explanation? I know that parents have a tendency to always ask you why you're doing it. And granted, I'm at this point I'm older, so like when my mom asks me questions, it's kind of like, I'm really just telling you I'm doing this. I'm not really asking you, for your opinion. Like, but who knows? But not even your parents, but just people are like, why are you doing this? Like, I had this friend Gina where I'm talking to her about the issue with properties right now, and then she asked me, why don't I move to another town that's further away from my job? And it's like, I'm trying to tell you the fact that there's a problem with property, and what you've just relayed as a way to fix it isn't a way to fix it. So just saying, people have a tendency of always telling you what they think you should do. I don't agree with that. Do whatever you want to, because you're an adult and they're not going to hold your hand when whatever the fuck they said goes wrong. Taking other people's advice for something you want to do isn't going to lead you to what you want to do. It's going to lead you to what they want to do. That's why I talk about politicians so much, because they know what they're doing. They're lying to you. That's a great example of what I'm talking about. That's like when Kim Kardashian acts like she's such a victim of Kanye West. Her mother sold her out and pimped her to have a sex tape, right? What was going to be the end result of that? Her mother has pimped out all of her children in a really despicable kind of a way. That shit's just gross. Like, Kim Kardashian is a prostitute, man. Not just her, but all of them are prostitutes. They're willing to sell their body, talk about sex, act like there's something they're not, and they're willing to sell that to Americans so they can get followers, so people can look at them, and so they can get fame. They will do anything for fame. Just like Meghan Markle married to Prince Harry or whatever the fuck his name is. The same thing. She's trying to act like a victim. Okay. Yep. That goes back to what I'm just talking about. Why can't you do what you want? If those people that I just talked about were doing what they want, then why do they always need to provide an explanation or try to act like something's happening for a reason? It's all fake. It is. Religion isn't the enemy. Religion isn't the enemy. For a long time, I was caught between a rock and a hard place. My husband isn't really religious at all, but he's grown up in a Roman Catholic home, right? His family grew him up at the church that I am becoming a part of. I'm in the RCIA program there, and I am becoming a Roman Catholic. Prior to that, I was a Baptist at Emmanuel Baptist Church, which is located locally in the state that I live in. For a while after going to that church, I started questioning, like, what their intentions were. Because how does it work that you have money to go on vacations, go write a book, send your kid to college, go on vacations, and live for free? I just don't get it, or I didn't get it. And that's the problem that I had with that religion. It angered me, and it just made me feel like they're taking advantage of people, just like the pastors that go on TV and ask you for money and then have the nerve to say that demons are on airplanes talking about people because they don't want to be around people and they want a private fucking jet. So you need the money of the people to do whatever the fuck you want. And you're hiding behind that. That's not religion. That's called a business. And the Catholic Church does things differently. It's all about really the word of God and prayers. And I just think everything that's attached to the Baptist church is not for me. So I'm staying away from it. Religion isn't the enemy, though. I've been going every Sunday. I went to a couple of events. I went to a dinner there. I've really been getting involved with the church. And I've got to tell you, being able to just go on a Sunday morning at 8:30 and leave and then go get breakfast is very nice. It's just so refreshing to hear the word of God and not have anything else attached to that. Granted, you want to be involved with the community and you want to volunteer and all those things. And at some point, maybe I'll get to that. But I feel like I was doing way too much at the other church I was involved in and that they requested way too much. I put in all this effort and it just felt like it didn't matter what I did. Other people were better than me. And that's not how God looks at things. So I didn't need to be involved with a church setting that made me feel like that. Some of the pastors had just this rude, unconstitutional opinion of me and just really, it was just very upsetting and strange. And I did a lot with the church, and I love, the foundation there, but they lost people, and they lost me, and I won't be going back. I don't like the way they try to make it seem like it's something that it isn't. It's a lying bunch of people that are using God to make themselves richer. They get a house. They get a car, they get to go on vacations, the pastor gets to go to all these places around the world, get COVID and lie about it, and then you get to condemn people when they want to talk about race, or they want to talk about sexuality, or they want to have different kind of conversations, but that's not okay. No. I'm telling you. It's okay not to be a part of one thing and change your mind. And I'm just grateful that I'm back going to church every Sunday. I'm grateful that I am hearing the word of God and I'm becoming more familiar with it. And I'm grateful that the reason I'm going to this church has something to do with my husband, his family, and it's all intertwined with each other. Hearing the word of God, listening to gospel music on my car, country as well. I don't miss rap. I haven't listened to rap music in like 2 weeks or whatever. I told you I gave up rap music. I don't miss it. I don't even really miss pop. Sometimes they play it at work, but like when I'm on my own by myself, I don't listen to that music anymore. And I don't miss it. Part of me thought, oh, I'm going to change the way I'm doing things and it's really going to affect my day, but it's not. Hearing songs that are about God are so uplifting, and they really, every time I hear one, I kind of just want to cry, like, wow, like, that's such an amazing song. Like, talking about the hero of Jesus and all he's done to protect me. Like, I like that. Religion isn't the enemy. But people will try to act like it is because they don't want to believe in anything, or they don't believe in anything. And if you have somebody that doesn't believe in anything, maybe you need to get rid of them, because you might not need to be around those people. The people that believe in nothing with Scientology or the insanity of whatever they're doing. They got to that point for a reason. I don't know how, but I really think you should consider looking into becoming a part of a church. It doesn't have to be Catholic like me. I mean, Roman Catholic, but you should really invest your time in becoming a member of God. Because we are going into a war in the United States of America, and the only thing that's going to hold your head together and keep your mental mind in balance is God. Believing in nothing gives you nothing. Remember that. And I was the first person to tell you that it doesn't matter if you go to church, it's all a bunch of crap. They're out to get you. But honestly, this setting that I'm currently in with Father Ford, with all the amazing people that are at the church, it's different. There's not a bunch of singers on the stage with a guitar. There's not a bunch of people paying attention to stuff that doesn't matter. It's all about God in a different way, and I appreciate that. And I think that's why I'm so excited to become a part of this little church or this big church. And I'm really excited to have somewhere where when I die I can be buried, or I'm not thinking about that. Like, everything's going to be planned out. Like, I really think religion can set you free from anything you're dealing with, because the power of God is more powerful than anything else. He is the one person that created all of this. So thinking that that's not what happened because you want to be atheist, where's that going to lead you? What are you going to do when you die and you're atheist? How does that work? Because you want to look at pornography and you want to have sex and you don't want to be held accountable? Do you know how much money porn makes? I mean, fucking Kim Kardashian sold her body. Ray J admitted it, that they both got checks. But the mom was looking at the porns, picking out which one made Kim look better so she could become famous. Because Kim doesn't have any fucking talent. Yo, I know we want to act like Skims is so great, but is Skims really great? It's elastic stretch pants and bras that you put on that are fucking overpriced, honestly. I mean, fuck, I can make something, and I bet it won't get any attention. But you see what I'm saying, right? These people are using skills that aren't skills to get attention. They're desperate for attention. All of them are the same. They are. Religion isn't the problem. They are. Do not give up on God because someone told you to. And I almost got to the point where I was like, this is too stressful. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. It's difficult to talk about God. It's difficult to talk about when you don't like someone saying something to you a certain way. I'm glad that I had enough strength to know when I was being used at the church I was at. And I'm glad I had enough strength to discontinue my presence. Like, the audacity of some of these people. Just the audacity of this shit. Ridiculous. Every time I go to ask them anything and I'm a member of the church, I get treated like, because I'm not showing up at the church currently, you can't help me. And that's not the word of God. And that's not how God should be seen. So be careful which church you're joining, but also consider becoming a part of a church, because it can really change your life. And religion isn't the enemy. The Democrats just want to get rid of religion and family so they can make you their robots. That's what this is all about. They want slaves again. And by the grace of God, I will not be their fucking slave. So good luck, buddy. And I will, if I have to convince every family member I know to go to fucking church, I'll do that. Just to spite them. Because God is omnipresent and He's always there. He's already created your future. That's the power of God. So when these people are trying to stop you, limit you, mute you, silence you, they can't defeat God. They can try, but they're going to fail. Because He gives forgiveness. He gives mercy. He loves, even if He shouldn't. He is merciful. He forgives you. He's not holding grudges. He's not hateful. He has an uplifting spirit. He sacrificed himself to die so we could live. He says, eat my body. He says, drink my blood. That's God. That's God. If I'm going to follow anything, it's going to be him. Because believing in God, talking to God, I'm never alone. I've never been alone, and I don't think I'm depressed. I think people think they're depressed. They end up spending all this money to a psychiatrist, and they end up doing the opposite of what they should be doing. If you want to be involved, you can get involved in a church. Be careful which church. Do your due diligence and do your looking, right? Be careful what variation of religion you want to join as well, because it might not match up with what you're looking for. I'm more so looking for something that's true to the Word of God, and that wasn't baptism. I grew up in a Baptist church, and then I got back into a Baptist church with my brother, but this church just wasn't for me. It kind of felt like it was Instagram, and it was deciding I didn't get enough likes to be a part of it. I'm good. Bye. And now I love the decision that I made, because I couldn't feel happier. And that's what you want at the end of this. You want to feel happy. So believing in God is going to lead you to unlimited happiness. Religion isn't the enemy. Moving on to the next part of our conversation. Courtesy should be earned. You know how you're just nice to people because you have a nice attitude? I think some people take advantage of that. Like, they just want to be rude and disrespectful and just have bad attitudes for no reason. I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be perceived as that person. I don't want to be perceived as somebody that's just rude for no reason. And I don't want to be around people that are douchebags. I do think courtesy has to be earned. You can't just be nice to everybody, because people take advantage of humility and kindness. You have to test the waters out with people. Are people just asking you for things and they're not doing anything? How much are you giving away for something? And what are you getting back for it? That's why courtesy has to be earned. If you're going to open the door for someone, or you're going to do something nice, okay. But be very careful. Mess with the bull, you're going to get their horn. Like, if you're going to mess with somebody and you're going to go out of your way to attack someone, just like Democrats are attacking Donald Trump, be ready for the outcome of that, because whatever they had planned with going into his house in Mar-a-Lago backfired. They don't actually have anything to use against him. They were looking for documentations for January 6th, because they're still fucking talking about January 6th. It's literally about to be 2023 of January 6th, and they're still fucking talking about like 3 years ago or something. This is the most pathetic attempt in the fucking world at one man. It's pathetic. It is extremely pathetic. And I'm loving that they're getting the horn. No one's paying attention to you. Your ratings are dropping, bro. No one's looking at progressive talk. No one's looking at the news. No one gives a fuck about any of these morons. Don Lemon, the douchebag that's on CNBC. None of these fucking far left woke people. Nobody wants to watch woke shows on TV. No one's looking at it. No one cares. Maybe just leave us the fuck alone. Maybe that would be the answer. Like I said, when you mess with the bull, you're going to get the horn. If you're going to go to one of these parties and you're going to want to ride the bull and you're trying to show how talented you are, be ready for the fact that you might fall off the bull. I don't know. I'm strong, so I might stay up on that bull. But then again, be careful with these morons. Give them the horn. Don't be sympathetic. Don't give them victimhood. Be the bull.
Did you say you'd fall off the bull?
I said they fall off the bull.
Oh, okay. I thought you were
I was talking about the fact that people want to use fear on others, like what they're trying to do to Donald Trump, and it's not working. It's backfiring.
Yeah, it doesn't work well.
They suck. That's it. Moving on to the next part of the conversation. Let's get into Star Wars Talk, we watch together. Okay, the ending of Animal Kingdom sucked. I didn't even look at it, skipped it, and I Googled it, and it just, Jay took all the money, and basically all his uncles died. How the fuck was that the ending of that show? It's just like Game of Thrones. It's just like that show on Netflix that was stupid. Just, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? I don't like it when shows end stupid that have all this time and effort and they just end stupid. It felt rushed. It felt like it wasn't done the correct way, and I'm just gonna say I'm glad I didn't actually look at it. I'm glad I didn't waste my time with that one. Recap on House of Dragons. Rhaenyra is supposed to be getting married. Um, Her uncle definitely has some problems. Her father has caught on to his wife's father, who's definitely questionable. And it's sort of good. I kind of was feeling like it's woke, but it might not really be as woke as I thought it was. But it's still questionable. But it's starting to get better, so I'll give it that. If you haven't started tuning into it, you might want to get caught up and start tuning into it. The Umbrella Academy, we started watching the first episode. We really gotta, nuke into that so we can complete the first season of that. Circle. I haven't watched the latest season of Circle, but I need to. I feel like I'm giving up on Riverdale just because it went really crazy and I just don't know if I can watch it. Like, I like the original storyline of Riverdale, but as they've grown up, the new stories for Riverdale are kind of really insane, and I just feel like it's too much. And I feel like the WB is extremely fucked up with their money and the company that they own, and I think that I'm good. I think I'm not going to look at it. Too much Netflix. There's so much available on Netflix. I don't even know how to get through all of it. Peaky Blinders, all these shows, Narcos, all these movies. Just, there's not enough hours in a day. But I'm going to attempt it. But we'll have to do it one show at a time. But how do you not have Netflix? When people say they cancel Netflix or they don't want to pay for it, are you seriously saying that? What's wrong with you? Get Netflix back. It's totally amazing. I don't even know if you need a lot of other things outside of Netflix. Netflix is pretty damn cool. As I die with my allergies. Getting into food with Veekstar. Veekstar, where'd you get those Veekstars? Veekstar, where'd you get those eyes? Let's get into it. Food is no longer affordable. I told you that at the beginning of the podcast and No Media Allowed. Something that would typically cost $14 has doubled or maybe even quadrupled. Going out is not what it was before. While it's easier to go out than buy a full meal and make it because it's easier in time, it's probably going to cost more to make it than buy it. Sometimes the option might be Taco Bell or McDonald's, and sometimes the option might be something quick, like fast food. That doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be the best food for you to eat, because it's not. There is a problem with fat people in the United States of America, overweight people that are not looking at what they're eating, and they're getting diabetes and they're dying. Yeah, that's what's happening here. Something about ramen. I love ramen. I found that uh, Korean market that I found near where I work is totally amazing. I love buying the ramen from there. You can make it in the microwave, which is actually very useful since there's a microwave in my break room at work. Love that. I also love the ramen from Mecca next door, but we're talking like $17 every time I order it, so only for special occasions or from eating out. But I do love Mecca. Um, Next part of the conversation. I don't know if I can do vegan again. Like, I I seriously love burgers. I don't know if I can give them up. Like, maybe I could, but I started eating it. There's healthier ways to eat meat that aren't as bad, which is nice. I don't know. I feel like maybe I consider vegan, but not completely vegan. Eating healthy is possible. That's what I'm saying. You can eat meat but not eat bad meat, right? You can have ribs but not have ones that are completely smothered in fat and just obnoxiously bad. Everything doesn't have to have cheese on it. You can eat healthy. You can buy fruit. You can chop up your own fruit. You can make your own soup. You can use anything you want and really make a difference. It's all possible. Really making a hell of a difference. You can do it. You can make that decision to be healthy, and you don't have to look back. Making your own lunch, buying your own food, eating healthily, making better decisions when you go out to eat, it's all doable. Slow cooker soup. Slow cooker soup is very simple. You get some like chicken broth, beef broth. You pour in the whatever's included. If you're adding meat or veggies in, shove it in. You could even make some Korean soup as well. Just shove it in and let it cook. You can make stews, you can make soup, you can really do whatever you want. You can find recipes, they're all over everywhere. It's all possible. So do it. I definitely am excited, but because there's so many options for slow cookers and there's so many options for soups. And I've told you how much I love soup, especially in the winter. There's nothing being able to just get a bowl of soup and just eat that. It doesn't have anything bad. I mean, unless you put in potatoes in it. But outside of that, you can really just fill it with nothing but vegetables and flavors. You can mix things that have amazing flavors. I'm saying stay positive, make soup, enjoy your life, don't fall for what's going on with the media, and don't ask anybody if you can do something. Do it because you want to. This is your life. This is your journey. This is your window of time. You can believe in whatever you want to. I'm hoping that it's God, and I'm hoping that you don't fall for parlor tricks. This has been your Monday pod of Born to Be a Star, and I will see you tomorrow on Tuesday. Bye.